bad rappers at? It's like a jungle in its habitat. Savage cats running out with fat with gas. We will cut them in the cabbage patch.
Oh my gosh. Ah, that's why I felt so awkward. Oh my gosh. Look how awkward it was.
You put more on one side?
Yeah, I had 345s and only 245s and a 35 on this side. And I still did it.
That's a big difference.
I was like, wow, my grip must be awkward. I am out of it today. Moving has got me. This is a SlingShot product I invented to help avoid injury, allow you to handle more weight for more reps, more sets, and handle more total volume in your training. A lot of people like to use it for heavy singles, which can be fun, but really the true benefit of it is the fact that it allows you to train through injuries, allows you to avoid injury. On top of that, it allows you to add a lot of volume to your training.
It's almost like the same principle as a shirt, kind of, like a little bit more versatile, a little more.
It's a lot better than a shirt. A shirt costs about 3 times as much as that, sometimes 4 times as much as that. This also allows you to train in a full range of motion. Lifters for many years have been using partial range of motion in order to overload. This allows you to train in a full range of motion with an overload. If you wear a bench shirt, you have to have a certain amount of weight on the bar just to achieve full range of motion.
Awesome. So where can we find one of these?
You can buy it at howmuchyoubench.net, or you can catch me at the Arnold Classic coming up. That's pretty much it.
That's it. Take a shot.
Thank you.
Never heard of nowhere.
Got more bars than a prison cell. Cracked open this new black bar. It's got some of that grease that they put on the weights to keep them from getting tarnished by the weather. But we're going to take this little black bar for a test drive. So that video was a huge throwback. That was 2013 at the Olympia Expo. And it's funny, when I was filming that video, I really had no concept of who I was even talking to. Like, the whole time I'm interviewing Mark Bell, I just knew he was from Bigger, Faster, Stronger. But if I ran into Mark Bell today, after watching all of his YouTube videos, after reading his magazines, after everybody who's into strength training uses his equipment, he has the best equipment in strength training, hands down in my opinion, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be so excited. But back then, I barely even knew who he was. And if you didn't catch it, go back and look again. Dan Green walked by us, and he stared right into the camera because he was hanging out at that booth the whole time. So I was right next to Dan Green, and I had no idea who that even was. At the time, I was just like, oh, it's a big, burly-looking powerlifter. Cool. Put no thought into it. Whereas today, I'd be souped. I'd be getting Dan Green on camera if I could. So it's really funny to see how much both my knowledge of powerlifting has progressed, but also how much powerlifting as a sport has progressed as far as being publicized. Part of the reason I didn't know any of those people is, one, because I was only doing bodybuilding back then, but two, because powerlifting really wasn't on the scene. It wasn't on YouTube. You couldn't really find much of it online like you can today, unless you really went out of your way to look for it. So it's finally starting to rise up into the mainstream of fitness, which of course in of itself is not mainstream, but you know what I mean. It's starting to get much more attention like bodybuilding is, or already has. So anyway, Silent Mike, who is basically the Robin to Mark Bell, who is Batman, reached out to me and Johnny Candido, and he offered to hook both of us up with a SlingShot. And now SlingShots can actually be used for raw lifters like myself. They're not just for geared lifters. The thing is, you want to go with the lighter resistance SlingShot so it's more accurate to your raw training. Here you can see me messing up this set. I was so out of it from moving all day that I didn't even add the weight to the other side of the barbell. So somehow I managed to bust 2 reps out of uneven weight, and it still didn't take all my energy away, and I was able to continue and do my regular 2 sets. So today, basically, this is wrapping up week 4 of Johnny Candido's 6-week program, and today it calls for 3 sets, 3 working sets, 300 for 3, 310 for 2 to 4, and I could have gotten 4 easily, except I hit the peg, and then 330 pounds for 2. And I successfully got both reps out of 330, even after messing up and killing all my energy, which I was pretty proud of. So the SlingShot. The SlingShot, basically, you want to put it on with the SlingShot logo upright, as if it were on a t-shirt. So you want it facing out and right side up. When you pull it up your arms, you can use the little slit that is in the elbow to help tug it up if your arms are too big. You want to pull it up till it's basically the seams in the slingshot are even with your elbow. Once it's at that position, it will then slide further up your arms, closer to your armpits, once you're in your bench position, which is a much more snug, optimal position. So what's the point of the slingshot? The slingshot is basically going to help you acclimate yourself to handling heavier weights you couldn't normally handle raw, or weights that you might need a spotter's assistance for. So to start off and warm ourselves up, because I had not been familiar with the slingshot, I began with 95% of my max. 335 is a weight I can do raw. I hit the freaking peg on the way up. This is why I can't stand this bench. So I slid down for my next set so that wouldn't happen again. That is my dad spotting me right there. And we're doing 345, my former max, for a set of 3. Now this is the blue slingshot, aka the reactive slingshot. There's different colors and each color represents different levels of difficulty. The black slingshot is the beast slingshot. If you can bench 365 raw, you can bench 405 for 2 with the black slingshot on. This little reactive slingshot doesn't really give you that boost. It just allows you to do your 1 rep max for 2 to 4 reps.
Get it. Thank you.
So if you're still a little bit confused as to what exactly the point of the slingshot is, it should not replace your real training. You should do your real raw training first, and then afterwards you use it almost like forced reps. Again, it helps adapt you to handling heavier weight. It gets you used to handling a heavier load. And on top of that, it's like forced reps with a spotter, except the slingshot stretches and contracts along with your muscles, so it's a more natural movement, still allowing you to do more of the movement yourself versus a spotter who can literally just pull the bar up off of you. I linked the site for these bad boys below. HowMuchYouBench.net, they're right in the info box.